Hey guys, welcome back. It's time we're going to take a little looky poo at the old industrial inspection and consulting. We're going to see an update from them. We have a little bit of a story time here where they're saying that they detected a fake box. They saved the day with a fake box. I'm going to pick it apart. I'm going to criticize the work that they did, the lack of ability of what seems like an auction company and people involved in a transaction for way too much money. When you're spending $30,000, you need to be able to Google. You need to be able to do the stuff that I'm teaching people every single day. Maybe not every day. Pretty close to every day in the Discord. If you have questions about something, I cannot for a second tell you if an old box that I don't know where it came from, I don't know who owned it, if it's legitimate. I can tell you if I see anything wrong with it. And in this case, we can see some stuff that is very wrong with it. But let's have it. So we had PK sent this to me. He has a video on this. He did a little live stream. He did a little lookerino at this. I suggest you guys watch that if you'd like to. Get a little outside, more different perspective. If you want to check that out, do so. Now, let's get into it. We got a $30,000 box, supposedly detecting a fake EX Holland Phantoms booster box using CT scanning. So there's some stuff here that is, useful. There's some stuff that is not so useful. There's a lot of people that wasted a lot of time and expertise on something that should have been an easy fix. I think there's some holes, even if this process was used for something that was more difficult to tell if it was fake. I think there's some serious issues there with it being perhaps a false sense of security. If somebody repacks a box and they put the cards in it and they're real cards, they're just lesser conditions of those cards. That's where we're going to see some shenanigans going on. If they have a scan that matches it, if they have something that has the thing inside of it's tamper-proof, it's in there, they can say, hey, look, it's real. Hey, look at this first edition base box. It has a Charizard inside it. But if they opened it and they took the Charizard or Charizards out of it and they replaced it with a near mint copy, are we going to be able to tell? Sometimes stuff is coming out of the pack and it's like an 8. Maybe you're lucky if it's an 8. Maybe it's a 7 or an 8 straight out of the pack. It's not necessarily perfect, but that's the nightmare. That's the nightmare example here, what we're looking at. So here we have it. Detecting fake EX Holland Phantoms booster box. They say our client acquired a sealed EX Holland Phantoms booster box valued at approximately $30,000. So Keith sent me an email. PK sent this to me as well. So thanks to them for reaching out. I still have a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth from the whole industrial inspection stuff, because at first they were saying that it wasn't a way that they were going to make money. They didn't want to do this to make money. And then the whole business kind of flipped around. They were reaching out to me. They were reaching out to a bunch of people and then just kind of left me hanging. And while they left me hanging, then they flipped around and they're like, hey, by the way, we're making a bunch of money on this. It's a business. It's now a business idea. So I didn't like that a whole lot. I do think that the service it's a shame. It's always kind of a shame. The same with weighing. The fact that older products can be weighed. It sucks that now you have to basically know whether it's heavy or light, sell it as heavy or light. And it leaves a lot of room for people that are going to deceive. This is going to be used in the same way. It's going to be used in predatory ways, I think, more than it is in good ways. Hasn't been used. Will it be used with all the high-end stuff? Most probably. So, it just comes down to you can trust that stuff even less at this point. Now, let's get back into the article. We got a lot to get through here. I have examples on this. We'll take a look at how I can tell this box is fake without using X-ray vision, without CT scanning anything. It's no different than a lot of the stuff that comes into the Discord and someone's like, hey, is this a real box? And I'll explain to them. You just look up known real examples, you compare them, you play spot the difference, and voila, fake box. There are more difficult examples, and I'm going to give props to this one in certain ways. It is pretty decent. All right, however, there were concerns about its authenticity, prompting the auction house from which it was purchased to request a third-party evaluation. As a result, the box was sent to us for a non-destructive review of its contents. So it was purchased by somebody, and that person, I'm not sure exactly on the scenario here. I'd love to talk to the person that bought it. I'd love to find out who sold this bad boy. to the auction house, or had it going to the auction house, and where they got it, and trail it back all the way to whoever had it. It's probably not that old. It's probably a recent fake box. It's a fake box for sure. So they're on the right track here. I mean, this is one of the things that you could just ask me, and even if you were, it doesn't even matter who you are. If you ask me this in the Discord general chat, that's the best place to do it. I get DMs for this stuff all the time. Hey, Rattle, is this box real? Is this box real? I know it's a dark picture across the room, and it's between somebody's stepsister's legs, and it's blurry. It's shot with a flip phone, some crappy flip phone that's got French fry grease all over the lens, that kind of thing. Below shows external box art differences between the suspect box compared to matching boxes, including this box break video and a public eBay listing. So here, done, solved, fake box. The box itself is fake. Now, there are scenarios where you got to worry about, is the box real? Is it a real box? Like here's an empty box. Is it an empty box that someone put packs into? And that's where it's just where the box came from is one of the most important parts of the entire scenario. They have it pointed out here. The rocks are not even in the right spot. We'll go into a little bit more details when we can zoom in on this, but here, you did it. You don't have to scan it. End of story. You can tell for certain. There's no alternate printing where the rocks are different. They didn't put rocks in different places for any reason. You can see here, you can kind of see the colors. Real box, fake box. Colors on the fake box are not the same. I mean, and it's in a well-lit photo. We got along the bottom here, the shrubs are not there. So yeah, it's a fake box. We'll get into more of that. A variety of metrics are used to evaluate the authenticity of booster boxes. This booster box fails every single one as shown in the below images. PK, Pokeknowledge, whose intelligent rivals that of Mewtwo's, advised us during this evaluation. With all of the evidence presented, he said, if this booster box is real, I'll eat my hat. So PK should know this is fake. I mean, most people, if you take 2 seconds to look up known real examples, and you look at the front of the box and just say, what's the difference here? The rocks are a dead giveaway. Sizing, other things, color, everything like that is different. Now, depending on the print run, if you had it in person too, the images are probably scans, or they're in different spots, or if you took the time and effort to overlay them, which is something that you can do, similar to the fake first edition base case, with the labels and stuff like that, you'll see that they're not the same. They're not the same size. They're in the wrong spots, that kind of thing. So we're not going to do that. That's too much time and effort for something that is painfully, obviously fake. All right, so what do we got here? We have glue between box seams. So the glue doesn't need to necessarily be there. Consistent layer density difference. 28 packs instead of 36. 10 card packs. Identifiable features in wrong position. So if the cards are in the wrong spot, that sort of thing. Now, I know what you're saying. Rattle, what? They're going to see the glue? Well, if somebody crimps the cards back together, crimps the packs back together, and doesn't use glue, they might not see the glue. If the cards are in the correct spots and they see the cards and they see the chase cards in there, some of the chase cards, some sort of chase cards, they're not even disclosing it with this service. They're not disclosing what the hits are. If you ask them to just say, is it real? Is it not real? So that's what we get into. We got shark teeth crimps. These are like the flea market fake Pokemon card packs, the ones with the ziggy zaggies. You know, your grandma has those art scissors that have the crisscross applesauce going on when you want to get fancy with your school projects. That's what we're talking about here. Below is a sample authentication report that each of our clients receives for authentication requests. Booster box authentications cost just $225, a worthwhile investment when spending so much for a prize collectible. This was free in the Discord. I mean, the restock bots are free in there, but this is extra free. If you came in there and you said, hey, should I buy this? Or hey, something looks weird about this? Or hey, is this real? I would tell you first, go look up known real examples and then come back. So we're going with number of packs, densities, crimp and seal, card position, identification of hollows, quantity of hollows. So, oh man, I'm fighting a yawn. Yeah, I don't know. This is all stuff that someone could bypass, and then they could have the authentication. So then it comes down to who's flipping the bill. Are they flipping the bill? Are they guaranteeing anything here to the person that buys this with their name on it? Is Industrial Inspection and Consulting paying someone 30 grand if they receive this, if they falsely identify that it's real? That's the kind of dangerous zone that you get into. That's who's going to be taking the blame if somebody gets something and puts it together. I mean, it basically just has to have the correct cards in there, lesser condition copies of the correct cards, and it doesn't seem like they catch it. I think that's the big flaw here. Now, does it, if something's repacked, if something has been repacked for quite a while and they're not trying to trick this system, sure, that probably works. If there's the wrong cards, the wrong era, the wrong booster packs, then I think you got something there. All right, Linktree. Speaking of free things, free ways to support, head on over to Linktree, shop on Troll and Toad, Securus, Card Trader, Card Market, Collector. We got all the stuff here. Collector for tracking your collection, that is. We got all kinds of discount codes. We have all kinds of stuff you can click before you shop. Support me at no additional cost. Buy the things you're going to buy anyway. This is the stuff that I use and recommend. So always happy to send people that way, and always happy for you guys to be able to keep the channel here up and running at no additional cost to yourself, or even if you're using the codes, you're saving a little bit of money in the process. So here we go. Let's I'm gonna hide my camera here for a little bit. We're gonna take a look at the examples. We're gonna mostly look at the client. The client box is the biggest perpetrator here. So the biggest thing here is I'm gonna give the wrap credit. A lot of the time the wrap doesn't have the little R there. Now, it's not the perfect photo. We do have to blow it up quite a bit. I don't know if there's a hole here. We're circling the rocks. The rocks are, a dead giveaway that they're in the wrong spot. Another thing is the cutout. The cutout is pretty decent. It's not perfect, but it is decent. The sizing on the Mewtwo is also not bad. We'll give it a not bad out of 10. But these like perforations here, the parts that hold it together, the parts that aren't perforated, are they not perforated? The anti-perforated margins, or little tabs here, they're the wrong shape, size, and location. So that's a big giveaway there. In the video here, we're going to take a quick look at a jungle box, and it's the same thing every time. Fake box comes up. People always asking about it, that sort of thing. The Pokemon logo here, too dark, not the right size. Typical stuff. Usually if there's not enough space, the amount of space between certain things, the Pokemon logo itself. Now, the balls themselves. The balls are pretty decent, but the amount of space in between here, the amount of space in around the bottom of the ball, that is definitely off. This seam across the middle, way too pronounced. It should not, there is like a little kind of dented area where it's meant to be folded across, but this one here is like extra, like super mega dented in. Just kind of a dead giveaway. If we zoom out here a little bit, we can kind of get a feel for, like, you can see the blue around the Pokemon is too dark. This is one of those things too, if you took a look at the actual print, the dots, the rosette pattern on the box itself, you'll probably be able to see some inconsistencies, maybe some artifacts. If it's a scan that they used, that they altered, that they tried to make it look like the real thing. I don't know why some of the time here, these fake, usually from China boxes, have this, they decide they want to change things. Instead of just doing like a one-to-one scan and print off, maybe it's to make it look better. And even if the print quality looks better, the fact that the rocks are all in the wrong spot, the fact that the colors are off, I don't know who you're really fooling. I mean, it fooled some people, apparently. This is scary that there wasn't more put into this by the auction company, whoever that might have been, by the person that bought it, anything of the sort. Like, if you're spending that much money, go on Google. For the love of God, go on Google. I mean, you have to learn to do that, I guess. It's not like most people seem to not either want to put the time and effort into doing it, or they just don't know. But now you do. If you watch this video, you are now way ahead of the game. You can identify counterfeits better than 99.9% of people in the hobby, apparently. All right, so here it is. We go on here. We go to Google. We put in Holon Phantoms booster box, and we get a bunch of examples. Here's another one from Rev. So Rev is a good source of these. We saw, or I guess we'll take a look at another example here. If it's like big auction houses, or if it's something that has been open, you could look up YouTube videos. If there's an old YouTube video of something being opened, you could look up even empty boxes. If you look up empty boxes on eBay, that sort of thing, or from like well-known sellers. If you're still not comfortable, if you don't know if that for sure, if the person's box is real, look up a couple others. Again, if Rev didn't, he did a box break in 2021 with this bad boy, and there was nothing, to my knowledge, that came out that it wasn't real. So there you go. You're probably safe looking at this one, and this is actually a little bit higher definition. So whoop-de-doo. We'll give them a little lookerino. You can see here where the tabs are, where it's held together. If those don't line up, if those aren't, those are identical every time. The die or whatever is used to cut this thing out is always leaving the same areas that you have to kind of snap off to set up the display. You can see it does have the line here, but it is very discreet, unlike the one on the fake box, which is heavily in place there. And we can look even closer on like the Pokemon logo itself. You'll be able to see all the little shadows and details that will not match up, that sort of thing. So whoop-de-doo. All right, now the Pokeball wrap in this picture is a little bit more clear than the other ones, so it's a little bit hard to do that. And again, if people are trying to sell you fake boxes, if it's in an auction house, they're going to have pictures of it that are going to be pretty clear. But if it's, some sketch dog 69 that's trying to sell it off on eBay, on Facebook Marketplace, or whatever it is, they're probably going to have terrible pictures, and that's probably going to be on purpose. So there are really small differences with the Pokeball wrap, but it is much closer than it usually is. So this came into the Discord recently. We have someone by the name of Joshua Lewinsky who is selling this bad boy. I'm going to go ahead and guess, if I was a betting man, that this is someone knowingly selling this thing. It's upside down, so we're going to flip it around. And here we have it. So, man, Jungle First Edition boxes. There are a lot of fake ones out there. This is a fake box, fake wrap. And yes, you guessed it, it's got fake packs inside. It is all around fake. You can see here it also has the very indented, extra indented area here for you to flip that bad boy open. We're going to use the same rules here. We're going to look at the differences that might occur within the Wizard's wrap. And you can see here that the hooky looky that's on the eye, that sort of ends right, before the S, or at the start of the S. That is wrong. That should not be like that. That is a good indication that that's a fake wrap on there. And now you got to be careful. There are Wizards products, Magic products in specific, that have a larger wrap than what would be on a Pokemon booster box. It's real wrap. If they take it off of that product, off the Magic product, they can slip it onto a Pokemon box, and voila, it's real wrap, just from the wrong product. The contents could be swapped out. That is something that is a real danger. This shit is so expensive. The motivation for some sleazebag to dick around with it and make a ton of money, it's there. It's very much there. Now, same that we were looking at with the Holon Phantoms. We have the 1, 2, 3 leaves within the hoop. This is the display hoop, we're going to call it. Now, the display hoop, yes, even these ones, they have little perforation areas that are not going to line up with a real box. This is a fake box. Just in case, make sure everyone's on the same page here. We got 3 leaves within the hoop on the top right hand side there. It's not supposed to. So again, this is one of those examples, and you can do it. You can do the same thing with like the sides. You can compare what is there stuff that's not in the right location? Is there stuff that's missing? Is there stuff that's not spaced out properly? So you can see here, even the text on the bottom is too close to the bottom. Not good. Not a good look. The first edition logo. kind of in the right place, but again, the wrong size, wrong placement. But the biggest thing here is the two leaves, the one pressed up against the purple nurple energy here. The hoop is kind of in the wrong zone. Easy peasy, right? So like as soon as you start seeing stuff, you'll see here at the bottom of the Pokeball, the Pokemon text. For whatever, I don't know why they make these from scratch. I mean, I guess they're just trying to make the print as vivid and as lively as possible, but then they don't take the time and effort required to make it so that it's in the correct spot, the exact size. So here we have the hoop down of the ball, the bottom curvature of the ball that lines up with the K on the fake box. And on the real box, the K is going outside of the ball. So like just small details like that even if the pictures are bad, you're still going to be able to notice that stuff. Now, oftentimes, if the wrap looks too clean, could be a real box. If the wrap looks too clean, that is definitely a cause for concern. So here we see a nice example of here at the end of the S. We're almost like the hoop is pretty much going towards the end of the S instead of the start of the S. Real wrap is going to have this. There's a lot of factors here. So it depends. Do you have real wrap, fake wrap? Do you have real box, fake box? Do you have real packs inside, fake packs? Do you have the hits swapped out and are they just replaced with other hollows? That's where, like, if it's just a really good repack, my apologies, but I don't think the CT scan saves you. And I think it might even be abused for that reason. So here's the other sides of the box. That you might want to take a look at. Again, there's all kinds of stuff on here. The text can often be wrong. It'll be in the wrong place. It'll be spaced wrong. It'll be cut off, that sort of thing. But this is more of the fake, the Joshua Lewinsky fake box. Joshua, if you're selling fake boxes and you know these are fake, you better smarten the fuck up or I'm coming for you. I'm going to make a video. I mean, I guess we just made a video. So Joshua, cut the shit. Take your fake box, shove it up your ass, and everyone out there, make sure you guys are looking after each other. If you're in doubt, I mean, this is all kind of, I want to teach people to be able to identify this stuff so they can avoid these scams, so they can call out these scams. And it's working. The only thing is, hopefully people learn how to do that before they run into the wrong person on Facebook Marketplace that's trying to rip them off for, you know, maybe they put this on here for 10 grand. Someone thinks they hit the lottery. That's a $30,000 Haul on Phantoms box. So this is going to fool a lot of people. But if you're spending that much money, whether it's a single card, no, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're spending 30 grand on something, seek out advice from people that know more than you do, if you need to. But also, if you're spending 30 grand on a box of Pokemon cards, you need to really sit down and know what the hell you're doing. It's kind of that simple, because there are people out there that will try to con you for that 30 grand or, you know, a fraction of that. If they're trying to just make a quick buck because they bought this on AliExpress or some shit and can scam you. And then they spend the money. They have nothing to lose. You have no way of retrieving it. It's just, it's a whole mess. I've seen it a million times. It sucks that stuff like this gets ruined. It sucks with the whole, I mean, the weighing stuff sucks. The fake boxes suck. The reseals suck. It all just kind of sucks. It's hard to avoid. Be careful. Make sure you're learning more than you're buying, and you should be all right. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. See you next time.